important one. Should you leave it on or take it off?
Take it off.
But before we do get to that, reaction is to listen to that and you feel nothing.
It was not a nursing home. It was.
But the operator asked her to go get
find somebody
else.
walking by.
Find somebody else. Like, although I'm trained in CPR,
But there are a lot of issues to this that I don't know that we even. We're worried that there's this afraid to perform CPR. On the other, they're afraid not to.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's because in the back of they just thought it was against company policy. Am I putting?
Well,
like what happens? What
What's
if
really
and someone's
tough is
dying?
That's
You
the
can't worry
idea
about
behind
that.
the Good Samaritan laws and why people think, okay, well, I'm going to be protected under the Good Samaritan law, that I can do something that's going to save somebody's life and I won't be liable. This woman, if you are a medical personnel and your employer says you cannot perform CPR, then you're not covered under the Good Samaritan.
Constantly in life and death situations. And we have, but this case is not one of those, and I'll explain that in a minute, but it's so that you should feel comfortable saving a life. And we've always said CPR it's easy for us. We do ask the very individual wanted. You know, and CPR is people who get in their 80s who get CPR. Did reach out to the Glenwood Gardens community as well. They issued a statement, and this in part reads, I think that the takeaway here is
Not in just emergency situations. Whether or not you should perform CPR, who wants you, does your family want you to live? Do you want you to live? You know, who's really got the directive in this, in these instances? They can become really complicated. The more it's spelled out, the more, you know, wishes can be carried through.
And tonight's an opportunity, Dr. Lisa.
They absolutely do. That's why it is so important for women to know and embrace what's going on down there, whatever you want to call down there. And look, no, seriously, remember when Dr. Ruth knows? Now, I would love to play a game with somebody out there if they're willing to volunteer to learn about private parts and the bumps and lumps and things that go on down there. Labia, okay, on the sort of start before you actually get sexually accessed.
You mentioned that, unlike the Bartholin cyst that you mentioned. Should I say thank you, Dr. Ruth?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Up next, do you have a bump that you'd like to have checked out? Anyone in the audience?
Wow!
It's at 158 degrees. Now, the infrared, the way it's set up is it doesn't burn you.
Okay.
But you feel the heat so desperately wants to cool off. Have a little taste test for you. Everyone.
It's like the
It smells fine.
Okay.
So how did it compare to maybe a sauna?
To a sauna or a steam room.
Sauna for me is breathing that hot air over time is my rate limiting factor.
Yeah,
now it's not as suffocating.
It's not affecting your airway, your lungs.
Did you lose much weight? Did you weigh yourself?
Acting so, just like bacteria in your skin have time to go to town. That is gross. In the cool, dry air of Los Angeles, my body temperature dropped quickly.